Hello and welcome to the Daily Spirit of the Soul show, or mostly daily Monday through Thursday. We are live here between 2 and 3 p.m. Eastern every single day, usually Monday through Thursday, unless it's a holiday. I'm sick or I just don't fucking feel like being here. In the spirit of being transparent and honest, I'm Power Coach Alicia. I'm so excited to rock today's session with you. I hope you had a merry fucking Christmas and that it was amazing and that your soul felt amazing and that everything felt so good for you and everything worked out the way that you wanted it to. I always believe that Christmas is such an amazing time of love and connection, and it's magical. And just spending that time with family and getting in touch with yourself and life slowing down, even though it speeds up to get to that moment. Christmas Day is really about a day of like slowing down, and I love it. Hello, who's saying hi to me? I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see your name, but hello. I'm so glad you're here, whoever you are. All right, so today we are talking about resetting your default mode. We're going to be talking about meditation and how it can help you reset your default mode, the power of meditation, but we're also going to be looking at resetting your default mode from a different perspective as well, not just meditation. I know that when you hear that, you see that, you want to close down to it like, oh my God, my brain's already running a million miles a minute. There's no way I'm going to be able to shut it down and meditate and focus, and that is not what this is about. Now, meditation can boost your immune system, lower your blood pressure, and help you deal with problems ranging from irritable bowel syndrome to psoriasis. Also, though, fibromyalgia, autoimmune diseases, anything like that, depression, anxiety. Meditation has such a long range of things. If you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling tapped out, if you're overgiving of yourself, of people pleasing, meditation can help with that. So, one of the things that I always say, and one of the things I learned when I was learning meditation, is that it's not about quieting your mind. It's not about getting silent. It's literally about that connection with yourself and giving yourself that moment for things, your thoughts to come and go as they please, for your body to sit in stillness, for you to not be moving a million miles a minute to make shit happen. If you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alicia, soul healer, author, and speaker. I specialize in helping women go from burnout to recharged in 30 days or less. We are on day 64 of your 90-day journal that is all about finding your inner calm and embracing your truth. Like I said, today, we're talking about resetting your default mode. So let's talk a little bit about what I mean when I say your default mode, because this is my language and how I speak. So your default mode is the way that you show up, the way that you operate, the way you respond. It's your automatic way of being, your default, right? And when you're on a soul healing journey, especially at the beginning, your default is generally something that does not aid you. Your default mode is actually something that takes you further away from how you want to feel, where you want to go, how you want to be, what you want to achieve, and how you want to feel every single step of the way. So that is one of the reasons why you are in or on a healing journey, is to reset that default mode to whatever you want it to be. And this is where it becomes really powerful. I've gone from my default mode being high strung, type A, in control of everything, bossing everyone around, right? Everything being just so, oh, it's Jessica Marwick. We've got Angela Doss. Is it Dose or Doss? I'm going with Doss in the house. Hello, happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. By the way, if you're live with me, drop a hashtag live party in the comments. If you're on replay or watching this later, it's a hashtag after party. I'd absolutely love to know that you are here. And please respond in the comments whether you are on the replay or live with me as we go along. All right, so what I want you to do right now is shout out in the comments, what do you think your default mode is? When you feel tapped out, when you feel like you're giving too much, when you feel burnt out, when you feel like you're disconnected from yourself, what is your default mode? What do? Do you go inside, right? Do you go within and you just kind of recluse and shut down? Do you get anxious and start giving even more? Are you calm, right? What is your default mode when things feel disconnected, when things feel discombobulated, when you feel burnt out and you know you need a recharge of your mind, body, and soul? And generally, I will say this, right, while I'm waiting for you to reply in the comments, is this default mode is kicking up all day long. So one thing to know is that this default mode doesn't just show up sometimes. It's showing up day in and day out at work, when you're working your business, with your children, with your partner. It will kick up because it's what you have created and what your ego bitch, is what I call her, has created in order to protect you. All right. So that's just going to kick up automatically. This is why, again, it's your default mode. And it happens day in and day out, like all day long. This is happening, right? Or something happens each day, triggers that shutdown, right? Like Angela says, hers is shutdown. Hi, Maya. Merry Christmas, my beautiful friend. What I do is I shut down emotionally, but I am like more bitchy. I actually take action that blocks you from my love. And I take action that blocks me from receiving your love. So my default mode, when I am tapped out, when it's too much, when I feel like it's not quite right for me in my soul, is I go into emotional avoidance, if this makes sense. Okay. So I'm still there. I'm still present, but I am more bitchy. I'm more aggressive. It's like a wall that I put up, because if I can step into that energy, then you're not going to hurt me. If I can step into that energy, you can't bring me to my knees. And I'm not vulnerable in those states, right? Because I'm protecting myself. So subconsciously, my default mode is, like I said, that avoidance and that block emotionally. But the problem with that is going into that avoidance and going into that block, it doesn't allow growth with the other person, or, growth together or apart, right? It shields everyone from everything. And so therefore, there isn't a lot of growth and transformation that's happening in that energy. And so it really fucks it completely up. So one thing that I've been working on, and it's really only been, I actually started studying attachment theory roughly a month ago. And so if you haven't started studying attachment theory, you should. And I'm twofold in how I am with my attachment theory. So in a love relationship, I'm avoidant attachment. Okay. Pre-love, building that relationship, I'm anxious attachment. So once we get into that love and that depth, I'm avoidant when shit goes awry, right? Or how I operate. I shouldn't say when shit goes awry. How I operate when I don't feel safe. Let's articulate it that way. In that dating, that courting phase, it's anxious attachment because I don't feel safe, right? Not until I feel safe in the dating energy, or I feel safe in the marriage energy emotionally, does that avoidant and that anxious attachment go away. So the work that I need to do in order to reset my default mode is releasing either of those attachment styles and learning how to protect my power and not going into any sort of shutdown default protection mode. Hopefully that makes sense. Shout out yes if that makes sense to you. Yeah, that's a powerful fucking way of putting that. I'm going to put that. I don't know if it's all going to show. Yeah, it is going to show. I won't go anywhere, but you won't get the access to the real me or my emotions. Fucking exactly. I love how I say things in like long-windedness and then you come in and fucking concise it into 5 words. I love that. You do that to me all the time. I appreciate that, because it's like, yes, I feel so like fucking validated and seen, heard, and understood when you're here. Maya, thank you for that. Our quote of the day is, resetting your default is the thread that weaves intentional change into the fabric of our lives, a testament to the beauty of adaptability and personal growth. So this session isn't necessarily about meditation. It's about resetting your default mode. It doesn't mean that the only way to reset it is meditation, right? It doesn't mean that that's the only way to move forward. What it does mean, though, is meditation gives you the space inside your mind, body, and soul to make better decisions, to be able to reset that default mode so that it doesn't auto take over. Your ego bitch doesn't automatically get in there and take over. Your lesson, resetting to a new default mode, is a transformative lesson in adaptability, growth, and the power of intentional change. Yes, when you look at yourself and you analyze yourself and you discover what your default mode is, where it comes from, how you operate, your attachment style, right? Then and only then can you move into intentional change. If you don't do that, you can't move into an intentional change. And we are going to be creating a powerful, powerful first quarter to 2024 in my refresh retreat that is coming up this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. There will be limited time access to the replay. So if you have to work or whatever, and you can't make it live to this retreat, you can watch this replay until probably the end of day on Tuesday. Due to the holiday, it'll be to the end of day of Tuesday next week. If you are not registered for this refresh retreat that is all about breaking free from the grasp of burnout and recharging your mind, body, and soul, you absolutely should be. This is my last free retreat for the duration, as far as I know, for the future. Because of the work we do in these retreats sets up your entire 90 days. We're diving into every area of your life, and then we're pulling pieces out of each of those areas, and they're your focus for each month of the next quarter. So this is some real work. It's actionable, it's forward moving, and it's so fucking powerful. And then what happens is in January and February, we actually dive deeper into one aspect that I taught you in the retreat, and we pull that out in our soul camps. So if you are not registered for the refresh retreat, please shout out refresh in the comments, and I will get you the link to sign up for that for free. And you're going to learn how to recharge your mind, body, and soul inside of this retreat, breaking free from that burnout. All right. So it's the understanding that at any point in life, you can recalibrate, listen, lean in, and hear me. At any point in time in your life, you can recalibrate your habits, your beliefs, and your behaviors to align with the person that you aspire to become. I don't like my default mode. I have to have that default mode in my mind so I don't get hurt, so I don't get derailed, so I don't get fucked up, right? So I don't get destroyed in my soul, so that those people cannot bring me to my knees. That's my mentality, right? Is that I have to operate that way in order to protect myself so that I'm not brought to my knees and then, taken off my course and taken off my path. But the truth is, you can protect your personal power without showing up in that same energy where Maya says that you won't get access to the real me or my emotions. Like, by changing that default mode, by recalibrating my habits and my beliefs, right? So that they align with the person that I aspire to become. You know what the other side of that is removing people that make you feel like you need to protect yourself from them. So it isn't just enough to say that you're going to reset your default mode and you're going to do the work on resetting that default mode. And we are going to show you some of the steps to that in this retreat coming up. So you want to be registered for it and you want to join live if you possibly can at whatever point, even if you have to come in session 2 or session 3 for the live and then go back and, listen to the rest of it. Being there live is so powerful, but no matter what, listening to it is going to teach you how to reset this default mode, how to recalibrate your beliefs and your habits and how you show up for yourself. But that's what it's about. If you have people in your life that you feel like you have to protect yourself from, your number one job is to get those people the fuck out of your life after you've established boundaries that they have the opportunity to respect or not. So in the To Be Better podcast, the number 2 Be Better, it's on YouTube and it's on TikTok. It's here on Facebook, but I'd watch it on YouTube or TikTok. They talk about the fact that you express your boundaries once or for the first time, right? So that they know. When someone pushes past those boundaries, so that would actually be the first time, but actually you express your boundaries and you share what your boundaries are before something happens. I want to make sure that this is clear. Then number 2, once that person pushes past those boundaries, disrespects them, you gently remind them what those boundaries are and how this is not a negotiable. This is a non-negotiable in being a part of your life, being a part of each other's lives and moving forward together and whatever that looks like. Okay? If they do it again, that's your move. That's when you move. That's when you create the space. That's when they need to step the fuck out of your life. You have to get them out of your life. Because if they're not going to respect your boundaries after you've expressed them in a calm environment where you're getting to know each other or letting them know that these are your boundaries now, and then you've also given them a warning saying, hey, this isn't okay. This is a non-negotiable, and you're doing it again. So I need you to know that if we can't come to a completeness with this, we're not going to be able to move forward together because this is something that I'm not going to budge on, right? Then that person's more than likely going to be like, okay, I completely understand that. I understand where you're coming from. But they do that again, then there's no respect for you and that relationship and what it's about, right? And so when it gets to that point, that's when you're moving into the energies of, what, this is not a good person for me. This isn't a person that I should be around or people that I should be around, right? So this lesson empowers you to embrace change, reflect on your values, and intentionally set a new course for your life. This is why you should always be evaluating, connecting, and paying attention to yourself. By resetting to a new default mode, you take control of your destiny and create the opportunity for profound personal growth and transformation. It's okay to have a default mode that isn't good. It's okay to acknowledge that and not beat yourself up over it, because the point of it is to help you grow and help you evolve so that your default mode is empowering and powerful for yourself, whatever that looks like. Your default mode isn't about anybody else. You don't change that default mode for someone else. It's about you changing it for you. I don't want to shut down access to the real me or my real emotions with anybody in my life. I love my friends so deep. I love my children, the people in my life so fucking deep. I love my partners so fucking deep. I don't want to shut off my real emotions and the access to me to any of those people. So I realize that if I'm doing that, those people should not be in my life unless I haven't given them an opportunity to understand what my boundaries are and what their actions do to obliterating those boundaries and shut me down and shut me off to them. When someone understands when their actions, their energy, and the way they show up, how that impacts you, if you allow them to understand how that affects you, most people are going to adjust accordingly. And the ones that don't should get the fuck out of your life. You should kick them the fuck out of your life. I always say they either step the fuck up or they get the fuck out. Okay? You're giving them the choice to step the fuck up, but you're making the decision to get them out. All right? So your journal prompt for today is reflect on a specific area of your life where you feel the need for change or personal growth. What habits, beliefs, or behaviors have become your current default mode in this area? Consider the person you aspire to become and the values that align with that vision. How can you intentionally set your default mode to align with your aspirations? Write about your experiences and intentions for embracing change and personal growth. Here's what I'll give you in meditation. It's very fast. I'm going to give it to you. We're going to do our affirmation. We're going to wrap up our session. It's about 15 seconds. It takes me longer to explain it than it does for you to do it. All right. So what you do is I use my fingers so I don't get distracted and I stay focused on what it is I'm, my counting process technically, right? So how it works is I do the index finger and the thumb first. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. When you're breathing in through your nose, you're thinking think. When you're breathing out through your mouth, you're thinking you. So it's thank you. Thank you. Go as slow as you can. So when you breathe in, think, out you, that's one. Then I shift fingers. 2. 3. When you get back around to your index finger, you're going to want to do it again. So you want to do your index finger. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're going to use one hand, I tend to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're focusing because you're moving fingers. You're focusing because you're thinking think and you, right? You're slowing down your breath. So you're thinking about that. During this 15 seconds, you generally aren't thinking about anything else because I've got your fingers moving. So you have that focus. I have your mind going. So you have that focus. And we're focused on your breathing. So you have that focus. You don't really have time to think about anything else. All you're doing is getting through 10 of those. When you get through 10 of those, take one final deep breath in. Release it all. Remember, with your think and you, open your eyes. It'll feel like this. And your head's clear. That's my 15-second meditation for busy and patient people. I made it up because at the beginning, when I first started meditating, I could not sit through 10 fucking minutes. 15 seconds, you have 15 seconds. It's not about quieting your mind. Follow that process and do that for yourself multiple times a day. Do it when you're in your car and you're transitioning to going into work in the office. If you own your own business, do that breathing before you log in and start work. When you get done with work, do that breathing before you start your drive home. When you get in the driveway, do it the 10 seconds again before you walk in the house. Do it as your transitional action, and you're going to give yourself way more headspace, way more presentness, way more patience, way more power and connectedness in your relationships and in what you're doing in every stage of your day. Okay? Your affirmation for today is I embrace the power of intentional change and personal growth. I have the ability to reset my default mode, aligning my habits, beliefs, and behaviors with the person that I inspire to be. In the tapestry of existence, I am the thread that weaves adaptability and intentional growth, creating a life of purpose and fulfillment. Conviction, purpose, power, passion, everything in your voice that you can get involved in. Get your body involved, clap your hands, hit your fists, whatever you need to do, smack your legs, stomp your feet, get your body involved, and repeat your affirmations 10 times, either the entire affirmation or a part of it that really connects with you. For me, I have the ability to reset my default mode, aligning my habits, beliefs, and behaviors with the person I inspire to be. I'm going to say that. That's going to be what I say 10 times. That's I'm going to say when I get my body involved. That is what I'm going to say with conviction, passion, power, purpose, and energy. Because I know that when I get my body involved and I find the part of that affirmation that connects with me and I say it 10 times, it's going to embed into my subconscious and it's going to become me instead of something that I just say. Remember to sign up for, actually shout out in the comments, refresh, to get the link for the free refresh retreat. When this is done, it's going to be paid. So this is not something you want to wait on. It's not something you want to, I'll just get to it. I'll get to it. Yeah, if you don't get signed up now and you don't watch it within the repay period, this retreat will be $777 for you to sign up for afterwards. It's worth it at full price. Nothing I do should be free. My soul camp should not be free. My retreat should not be free, because it's the meat and the potatoes. It's the creme de la creme. It's the soul shift. It's the soul align. It's the soul expand. It's the actual work, not the fucking fluffy shit. So shout out refresh in the comments. If you're not signed up for it, I'll get you that link. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It's always about progress, not perfection. And you must give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else, because the world needs who you are made to be. So show up every single fucking day as the badass you are and slay. I'm Power Coach Alicia, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.